Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with another AITA story for you. This is actually a best of Redditor update, and this one is my dog ate my neighbor's drone, and then my neighbor takes me to small claims court. Not gonna lie, I've wrecked a drone. Not sure what to do. Earlier today, my neighbor came pounding on my door, screaming obscenities and shouting at me. When I finally got him to stop yelling, I found out that he was flying his drone in my backyard again, and this time my dog finally managed to catch it and destroy it. He claims this was a $900 drone, and I had to pay him right then and there. I refused and closed the door in his face. A couple hours later, police showed up to retrieve the drone. It was still in my backyard, but my dog completely ignored it once it stopped buzzing and asked about the situation. They said the neighbor called them stating that I refused him access to my yard to get it. That's not true. He never asked. I'm worried the neighbor will try to press charges against me for destruction of property or sue me. Will he have any legal standing if this does go to court? He has a history of flying his drone low over my yard to tease my dog. I have asked him to stop several times, which he always refuses, telling me that I don't own the air above my yard. I've called the police to complain once before. He was doing flybys over my dog and getting very close to hitting him. The police didn't say he couldn't fly it in my yard, but did ask him to stop doing it in order to avoid conflict. That only seemed to egg him on. A small update to my neighbor flying his drone in my backyard and attacking my dog. I was served a summons by a sheriff's deputy. Neighbor decided to take me to small claims court over his drone. My mother-in-law is a paralegal secretary, so I was able to get a free consultation with a lawyer where she works to ask some questions about what to bring and how to prepare. He seemed genuinely amused that my neighbor was even trying to sue. He also suggested I countersue and how it could possibly add in more damages. He also told me that my neighbor and I technically live within 5 miles of an airport, and even though it doesn't have a tower, technically that falls under FAA regulations. I am very familiar with this. I called the hotline from Google and spoke to them about my neighbor's hobby of flying out of line of sight, flying several thousand feet in the air, flying near an airport, and made an inquiry into if he was registered to fly drones, saying he owned 2 very large drones. He already bought a new one. This one is almost 5 feet across. I don't know the weight of his, but it definitely is at least a few pounds. They took my information and have called me back once, so I know they're investigating but don't know anything else. Not sure if they'll tell me anything anyways. I brought both police reports to court, as well as several photos of my backyard, photos of our shared 8-foot privacy fence, medical bills for my dog, and a few short videos I had of him doing flybys over my dog in the past. His main argument to the judge was that I maliciously installed a table to allow my dog to jump high enough to catch his drone, which I somehow trained him to do, which, yes, I had recently bought a new picnic table, but only so I have somewhere to sit and eat outside. I argued that his flying was causing my dog anxiety, and that's what provoked it. And thanks to y'all's advice, that my dog could have potentially died from ingesting part of the drone, or if the drone had hit him. In the end, he now has to pay me just under $2,000 for various vet bills, x-rays, dental exams, sedation, medication, etc. He is also banned from flying over my property, and I installed trail cams front and backyards just in case. He seems pretty upset with me, so I wanted to be careful. The only thing that could make this better is if the FAA finds a reason to fine him or take away his drones. I flippin' love it. Flippin' love it. This is fantastic. And how great that this OP posted to Reddit seeking advice, got advice, followed it through, and actually ended up turntabling this shit and getting $2,000 in compensation for the shit that he had to go through instead of having to pay for Brozo's drone. Why on earth? Okay, flying a drone to piss off or tease a neighbor's dog is just a stupid, dumbass idea. How much of an idle hands problem do you have to be like, hey, Billy, you know what I'm doing Saturday? You can come on over, man. We'll crack a couple brewskis and we're going to fly a drone over the neighbor's dog just to piss it off. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Yeah, tell you what, man, he gets close sometimes, tell you what, but I got it flight pattern just right. So I got the camera on that thing pointed right down. You could see that dog's mouth just like get up there and almost graze that camera. He just didn't quite get there all the way, man. Shoot, it's a good time. Tell you what. Until it wasn't. I crashed a drone the first time that I ever flew one because I think when you fly a drone, it's bound to happen. That's why you start with an entry-level one and then work your way up. Now, in the video world that I live in, we contract out a lot of drone work because I had the training program to go into the commercial pilots program for drone flight, and it's a whole lot of time investment, but it's more so the risk involved that I don't want. I don't want to crash a drone into a crowd of people or into a vehicle or cause some kind of accident or cause some kind of harm. The other end of the spectrum is this jackass who literally doesn't think about anything like that and is like, shoot, I'll fly over anything. Tell you what, within 5 miles of an airport, you're supposed to be in contact with the tower to get clearance first. Now, there are some apps that you can do that ahead of time and get clearance like right there in the app to be able to fly. But within 5 miles of an airport, and maybe it's over X amount of feet. But yeah, FAA owns the air, anything in the air. It's very loosely defined, so that's tough. But in this case, he was doing it with malicious intent in the first place. He was doing it to be a dick. And luckily, OP brought receipts. The freaking video evidence is fantastic. Just hearing that he had videos of this guy doing the flybys is la creme de la creme. I am so glad that he had all of this evidence and so glad he was able to turn all of this around. And yeah, the people who follow the rules and fly responsibly are great. And they assume a lot of risk doing that. And that's why it's not cheap to hire someone to do that kind of thing. But then you've got these idiots who just cause all kinds of problems and just do it just to be idiots. If he has a drone that's 5 feet across, it's probably an octocopter that can house like more of the cinema style productions, like a red camera. So it can carry a lot more of a heavier cinematic rig. And those things are super pricey. They are not cheap at all. I don't know about a drone going several thousand feet in the air. That would be impressive. Now we're talking like military drones. This is so great to hear someone is being an idiot and terrorizing them and then trying to fully take advantage of them by when they get busted or something happens while they're trying to terrorize them, tries to sue them or press them for damages and it gets turntabled. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.